Most drivers think oil is just oil. Change it, drive, and forget it. But the truth is, the oil you choose can decide whether your engine fails before 100,000 miles or keeps running strong past. Synthetic oil isn't just pricier, it's engineered to handle stress, protect in extreme temperatures, and extend engine life. Yet myths keep millions of drivers confused. In my shop, I've seen engines die young, and others last decades, all because of oil choice. So today, I'm exposing 13 secrets mechanics won't tell you about synthetic oil, including one even dealerships don't want you to know. Stick around, because just one of these could save you thousands. And if saving money on car repairs sounds good, hit that subscribe button now. Secret number 13. Synthetic versus conventional. The real difference. Most drivers glance at the bottles on the shelf. Same golden color, same viscosity numbers, and think oil is oil. But under the microscope, the story changes. Conventional oil comes straight from crude, meaning the molecules are all different sizes and shapes. That inconsistency creates uneven lubrication, faster breakdown under heat, and sludge over time. Synthetic oil is engineered. Chemists design the molecules to be uniform. That means smoother flow, stronger resistance to heat, and less wear on critical parts. Think of it like the difference between cooking with raw, unfiltered oil and one purified in a lab. Both get the job done, but one is more reliable. Over the long run, synthetic keeps engines cleaner and running smoother, which is why it's now factory fill for most modern cars. And while many drivers accept this, there's still a stubborn myth that switching once locks you in forever. Secret number 12. Myth: once you switch, you can't go back. One of the oldest oil myths is that once your car tastes synthetic, it can never return to conventional without damage. The truth? Engines don't form an addiction. What matters is whether the oil meets the required specs, viscosity grade and API or Dexos certification. Back in the early days of synthetic, drivers sometimes saw leaks after switching, but it wasn't the oil causing it. Synthetic cleaned out old sludge that had been hiding weak seals, exposing issues already there. Conventional oil, being thicker, sometimes hid the leaks again, fueling the myth. Today's oils contain seal conditioners that prevent this problem entirely. Switching back and forth is perfectly safe as long as you're using the right grade. So no, your car doesn't get hooked on synthetic. But even when you can switch freely, the biggest advantage of synthetic shows itself in freezing mornings. Secret number 11. Cold start protection. Most wear happens not while cruising, but during the first few seconds after startup, when oil has drained back into the sump overnight. Conventional oil thickens in the cold, making your pump struggle to circulate it quickly. Those dry seconds mean metal scraping metal. Synthetic oil is engineered to flow instantly, even at 40. That means bearings, cams, and cylinder walls get coated almost immediately, drastically cutting startup wear. In my shop, I've seen engines in cold climates fail young, because their owners stuck with conventional, while synthetic users cruised past 200,000. Even in warmer climates, every engine experiences cold starts daily. So synthetic helps. Every industry tests shows synthetics pump through systems nearly twice as fast in freezing temps. That speed is your insurance policy. Of course, even with the right oil, using the wrong viscosity grade can silently destroy an engine. Secret number 10. Wrong viscosity. The silent engine killer. Many DIYers proudly say, oil is oil, I just grab whatever's cheapest in the right quart. But viscosity is no joke. Modern engines are designed with tight tolerances. If your car calls for 0W20 and you pour in 10W40, you're risking hidden damage. Thicker oil may not flow fast enough at startup, starving components. Too thin, and it won't protect under high heat. Synthetic strength is holding viscosity steady across extremes. But if you start with the wrong grade, even the best oil can't save you. I once had a Civic owner who insisted on thicker oil for protection. Within months, his timing chain rattled from poor lubrication. Following the manufacturer's spec is the key to long life. And while viscosity mistakes ruin engines, another myth has drivers scared for the wrong reason. Secret number 9. Myth: synthetic causes leaks. Ask around and you'll still hear people swear that synthetic ruins older engines by making them leak. Here's the truth. Synthetic doesn't cause leaks. It reveals them. Conventional oil builds sludge over time, which can mask worn seals. When synthetic goes in, its detergents gradually clean the sludge, uncovering the weak spots that were already leaking. Modern high-mileage synthetic oils even contain conditioners that gently restore aging seals, reducing oil burn and slowing leak. In my shop, I've switched dozens of older cars to synthetic and seen them run cleaner and longer, unless the engine was already neglected beyond saving. If leaks appear after the switch, it's not the oil causing them. It's showing you a problem that was hidden all along. And once drivers get past leak fears, the next question they ask is how long synthetic can really last. Secret number 8. Extended drain intervals. Truth or trap? One of synthetic's biggest selling points is longer oil change intervals. Some brands boast 10,000 or even 15,000 miles between changes. And yes, in controlled lab conditions, synthetic can last far longer than conventional. But here's the catch. Your car doesn't live in a lab. Stop-and-go traffic, cold starts, short trips, and fuel dilution all break down oil faster. For most modern cars, manufacturers recommend 5,000–7,500 miles, sometimes up to 10,000 under ideal conditions. Push beyond that only if you're doing highway miles and confirm with oil analysis. I've seen customers stretch too far, only to clog timing chains or starve turbo. Synthetic is tough, but not invincible. Treat extended intervals as flexibility, not an excuse to forget maintenance. And while people debate mileage, dealerships use another fear to keep drivers tied to their service bay. Secret number 7. Warranty myths. Plenty of drivers believe their warranty requires them to buy oil only from the dealer. The truth? As long as the oil meets the specifications in your owner's manual, API, ILSAC, Dexos, your warranty remains valid. The dealer can't legally force you to buy their branded oil. Mechanics rarely explain this because dealerships make huge profits on official oil changes. In reality, you can buy a certified synthetic off the shelf and do it yourself, and your warranty is still safe. I had a customer who overpaid at a dealer for years until I showed him the certification symbol on the bottle he could buy anywhere. That symbol, not the brand name, is what matters. Don't get trapped by warranty myth. And this matters even more if you're driving one of the most oil-sensitive engines of all, a turbo. Quick pause. If you're finding these oil secrets useful, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because the next ones could save you from a repair bill you never saw coming. Secret number 6. Turbocharger survival. Turbos spin at over 150,000 RPM, and temperatures soar past 1,000. Conventional oil can literally cook inside a turbo, forming carbon deposits that choke bearings, a problem called Once those deposits form, lubrication slows, friction rises, and turbos fail fast. Synthetic oil, with its stable molecular design, resists this thermal breakdown. It keeps flowing smoothly, even under turbo heat. In my shop, I've seen turbo cars last past 200,000 miles on synthetic, while those on conventional needed rebuilds in half the time. Automakers know this, which is why nearly every turbo engine today is factory filled with synthetic. If you own a turbocharged car, synthetic isn't optional, it's survival. But while synthetic saves turbos, some drivers waste money by pouring in miracle additives that claim to boost performance. Secret number 5. Additive myths. Walk down the parts aisle and you'll see bottles promising to extend oil life, add extra protection, or restore power. Here's the truth. Synthetic oil already contains a carefully engineered cocktail of additives, detergents, anti-wear agents, antioxidants, and more. Adding aftermarket chemicals often disrupts that balance, sometimes even thinning the oil or damaging seal. I've seen engines come in with foamed up oil because someone poured in too many helpers. If your bottle of synthetic meets API or Dexos certification, it already has the additives it needs. Extra isn't better, it's often worse. Save your money and trust the engineered blend. And if you want a real hidden benefit no one talks about, look at how synthetic impacts the environment. Secret number 4. Eco-friendly angle. Most people never think about what happens to their used oil. Conventional oil changes pile up quickly, 20 or more over. Synthetic, with its longer intervals, cuts that nearly in half. That means less waste oil to dispose of, less contamination risk, and fewer resources used. On top of that, engines running on synthetic stay cleaner and burn fuel slightly more efficiently, lowering emissions. It's not a massive change, but every small improvement adds up when millions of cars are on the road. Switching to synthetic isn't just about protecting your engine, it's about reducing waste for everyone. And while eco-benefits are great, most drivers really care about one thing: the cost hitting their wallet. Secret number 3, cost breakdown. At first glance, synthetic oil looks expensive, maybe double the price of conventional. A shop might charge $70 for synthetic versus $35 for conventional. But look deeper. With synthetic, you need fewer changes, maybe 8 to 12 over 60,000 miles, compared to 20 with conventional. Add labor and disposal fees, and the cost gap shrinks fast. Then consider the hidden savings. Synthetic prevents sludge, protects timing chains, and reduces wear that could lead to $1,000 repairs. When you divide the cost by miles driven, synthetic often works out to just pennies more, while saving you from major expenses later. It's like paying slightly more for better shoes that last twice as long. And beyond cost, there are even simple tricks drivers can use at home to check if their synthetic oil is still healthy. Secret number 2, at-home oil health test. You don't need a lab to get a sense of your oil's condition. Try the dipstick test. Pull it out, check the color and smell. Fresh synthetic is golden and smooth. Dark, gritty oil or a fuel smell means it's time to change. Another trick is the paper blot test. Drop a bit of oil on white paper and watch how it spreads. Clean oil disperses evenly. Dirty oil leaves dark, sticky patches. These simple tests aren't perfect, but they give you a quick snapshot of oil health between changes. In my shop, I encourage drivers to check monthly. It's free and takes 30 seconds. With synthetic, you'll often see how much cleaner it stays over time compared to conventional. And beyond the science, there's one final reason people stick with synthetic: how it makes them feel behind the wheel. Secret number 1, confidence factor. Not every benefit of synthetic is about chemistry. Some of it's psychological. Drivers who use synthetic often feel peace of mind, knowing their car is filled with the same type of oil trusted in high-performance machines, jet engines, and heavy-duty trucks. That confidence reduces worry on long trips, in extreme weather, or when miles stack up. In fact, I've noticed that drivers who commit to synthetic usually maintain their cars better overall, because they already feel like they're giving their engine the best. That mindset translates into longer vehicle life. Synthetic doesn't just protect metal parts, it protects your confidence. And that's worth just as much as fuel economy, or fewer oil changes. Because at the end of the day, the best oil isn't hype, it's quiet insurance for every mile you drive. Final thoughts. So there you have it, 13 synthetic oil secrets mechanics rarely talk about. We busted the myths about leaks, switching back and never needing to change, and we revealed the truths that really matter: viscosity, cold starts, turbo survival, and even how synthetic can save your wallet and the environment at the same time. The bottom line: synthetic oil isn't hype, it's chemistry and engineering working quietly in your favor, protecting your engine every mile you drive. If even one of these secrets saved you money, or gave you peace of mind, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now, because the next tip I share might just save your whole engine. Stay smart, drive safe, and remember, the right oil is the silent protector of your car's life.